to all you Virgos. Welcome to your monthly horoscope for Virgos for the month of already November 2014. And what is going to happen? And in general, what does it mean for the Virgos? What is happening with the planets? Well, the most important thing I think is that there is going to be a stellium, and the stellium in a specific area of your life. And we will all experience that. And a stellium is about 3 or more planets in the same sign. So that's happening now in Scorpio, which is for you the 3rd house. And a stellium always has a meaning. It means that there needs to be an over-focus on something. There needs to be a commitment towards something. I use the word commitment because it's in Scorpio. So in Scorpio, it means that things need to be looked at in a very deep way, in a very focused way, in a very committed way. And so that's for everyone. And now for you Virgos, I think in general, of course, that it will be very interesting for Virgos and a Virgo kind of month. Because the 3rd house is associated with your ruler Mercury. It is the house of the Gemini, but Gemini, as you Virgos, is also ruled by Mercury. So the thing with stelliums is the following. Whenever there is a stellium in someone's natal chart, it always means, again, this over-focus, which can be a very good thing because it means a mastering of something and putting a lot of energy towards something. For you, the Virgo, it's in 3rd house issues, which is in general communication. It's your speech. It's how you express yourself in with your language, with your speak, with your writings, etc. And with your message. You know, everyone has a message. And the thing is with the stelliums is that it causes an energy of a super focus. And then there is the release. Because of course the stellium is not going to last forever in that 3rd house. It will be actually already diminishing the last weeks of the month of November. It also shows when there is an over-focus, it means, you know, there is an imbalance in elements. So we always, in this case, water, because there are a lot of planets in water signs, so we always have to look at what we can do to get that into balance again. So in this case, it will be a bit more fire, a bit more individuality, but I'll talk about that in a minute. So yes, for the Virgos, a very Virgo-like month in that way that a lot of communication, busyness, emails, telephone, conversations with people around you, siblings, people on the telephone, a lot of talking, and not just talking, a lot of deep talking. Because so one thing is the stellium is very important this month. Another thing is Saturn is very important this month. And as Saturn is in Scorpio, and that is a water sign that goes very well with Virgo, you can really benefit from this Saturn in a more easy way than other signs would do, or some other signs would do. Because Saturn is supporting the Virgo. Saturn is about hard working, it's about discipline, and it's about commitment as well, certainly in Scorpio. So by you as a Virgo working hard to think very well about what you say and how you say something, that can give you such a benefit for the upcoming months. So what you do now, this is because it's a stellium, what you do now and what you work on now will have benefits for many months. That's the upside of this stellium. The downside is the focus of energy can be a bit too much. So bear in mind that you need to relax as well. And you will be able to do so because you've got Jupiter in Leo. And I'll talk about that in a minute. So what happens is that Saturn is there for the last month in Scorpio. So it's for the last time in your 3rd house, which is really significant because when Saturn passes that 3rd house next month, you will see the fruits of that hard work that you've been doing in your case when it comes to the way you express yourself, the way you communicate, the way you want other people to understand you, and the way that basically you want to understand yourself as well, and how you can process information in a good way. So Saturn is this structuring planet, and this month a lot of personal planets are crossing that Saturn. Like your ruler, Mercury, is going to cross Saturn. That will be a lot around the last week of the last couple of days of November. So if you feel a little bit tense there, a little bit that a lot of pressure is on your shoulders, it's normal. Just continue, just hang on there, and you will see the fruits next month. Also, Venus is passing through that Saturn, which is about Venus is about the choices that you want to make. It's about what you value, what you think is important. So it's all going to, and that has to do with your communication always, because that's the area of life that it is focused on here. So this will all be a super focus on that. And again, the Sun, which is our essence, which is our identity, is also passing that point of Saturn. So that's why Saturn is so important than in other months, because when a lot of personal planets hit a certain outer planet, which is Saturn, then it means that outer planet has a lot of significance. So, and I think for Virgos, they're not most in general, they're not afraid of hard work, they're not afraid of standing still and being introspective and weighing, thinking of, which is the Venus that is helping you there, with the Venus in Scorpio for the whole month, actually, almost. No, not the whole month. For the first 2 weeks of the month, Venus is about weighing. It's about what is good, what is bad, what is the best way to communicate, what do I need to let go. So it's a lot of hard inner work. It's in Scorpio. Scorpio is deep. Scorpio goes a long way, but then when it's done, it's done. You don't have to go back to it. That's also Scorpio. And Virgo isn't afraid of working hard. Virgo knows that by standing still and doing things slow down, then you will benefit from it. So the last couple of days is an important time for the Virgos, because Mercury is in Saturn, so you can feel a bit more anxious than normal or a bit more tense, but that is because you're doing the hard work, you're doing your exploring about what's the best way to do things. And I know that Virgos tend to, their pitfall is when they get anxious because they think they can't do the right thing, because Virgo is associated with perfectionism. And then there is this Jupiter in the 12th house that can be very helpful for you to put off that tension, because when there is an overfocus like now this month on a certain house, there has to be some other things to put it into balance again. People in natal charts with an overdoses on one particular house, they need more than any other people to have that balance and to do the other thing as well. And for you Virgos, it's relaxation. It's the 12th house, and it's Jupiter, your ruler there, which has to do with the letting go, which has to do with the relaxation and relaxing time and allowing that to yourself on a regular basis, actually. So it doesn't matter what it is, because every individual is different. It can be different for you. It can be reading a book for someone. For someone else, it can be just listening to a nice piece of classical music. But whatever detracts you, whatever, keep in mind that you need to do that, because otherwise you're going to be restless, with so much energy in the 3rd house, which is the mind. So you need to be in the body as well. The intelligence of the body is very important. Sometimes Virgos tend to go too much in the head, so you need to stay grounded. You need to do some yoga or something that you like, of course, but that keeps you a bit more, it's easy to let go. Or some knitting. I know that Virgos like a lot of knitting, and people say, oh, that is boring. But no, it can it drives your mind to other places and to the knitting, and that can be very relaxing. So I think, and again, the last thing I wanted to say is that also Mars is in Capricorn for almost a whole month, which is so good for you. Last month, Mars was in Sagittarius, which squares up to Virgo, so which might have been a month a bit of more tension. Now Mars works with you in the 5th house. Do some sports, can help you as well. Be in the body, remember? And with Pluto, do it a bit intense there, because Mars is going to aspect Pluto as well. Thanks a lot for listening. Thank you very, very much for listening. Have a good month, you Virgos out there, and see you next month.